Hi. All right, let's try and pick up where I left off this morning. I was trying to talk about the weight loss place. So I went to my doctor. I'm just going to run through the story quick. No sidetracks. Yeah, right. No sidetracks. So I went to see the doctor, okay? I went to see the doctor. Because I have to go every 6 months now, or 3 months, or whatever. You know, because they want me to get on track. You know, I got to get on track. They want me to be on track. Be healthy, okay? Be healthy. Get on track. And like in the doctor's office meeting, whatever the fuck, the appointment. In the appointment, I said, oh yeah, my wife wants me to tell you several months ago, and like right by my nipple, I was like, here, I kind of had a pain. I'm not going to turn left because I'm never going to make it. That's what my spider sense says. On the left side of my nipple, like in the skin, like just off the left of it, like it's kind of feels like there's a light ache, a little very minor throb. And like over the past few months, it's slowly moved over to like what would you call that? Like on the left side, let me see. Like on the fucking far side of the rib cage, like kind of straight to the left and down a little bit. And she was like, I swear to God. And no, she was asking me about the pain. And I was like, it just feels like there's like a muscle ache in there. No, not a muscle ache. Like maybe there's I don't know. I don't remember what I said because I can't even describe it now. Just like an ache, like a soreness, like a tenderness, and like I can feel like lumps in the skin, not like hard, because my cat had cancer. It doesn't feel like gravel like hers did. Hers was bad. Hers was real bad. It got way worse. It was pretty bad early on, but the night I took her in, she had a lot that I hadn't even felt. Because like I was just trying to be soft and cuddly with her and love her for the last few months. Because I knew she had cancer. Because there was some stuff in her belly. I took her down there. Anyway, I'm sidetracked. I said no sidetrack. It didn't feel anything like any of that. Just like maybe muscle, like when you get a tight lump in your muscles. Kind of felt like that, but small. And there's still kind of a chonk one on the left side. It actually reminds me exactly of the cyst on my back that they removed. And we went into an ultrasound, and it was to quote the ultrasound tech, oh, it's just fat. It's fat. I'm like, oh, that's why I started calling my cat fat. Because it was funny. She used to be kind of fat too. She was like, she'd always look at me like, fuck you. But anyway, so I'm telling the doctor this. I'm describing the boobie pain. And she was like, oh, we got to get you on a treadmill. That's verbatim what she said. Oh, we got to get you on a treadmill. And I'm like, what? She's like, we got to check out your heart. I'm like, my heart? Like, this is taking place, like, in the top, you know, in my skin right here, in my skin. She's like, well, it can manifest. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, wouldn't that act up, like, through exertion and shit? She's like, it doesn't? I'm like, no, it's just, it comes and goes, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. And it usually lasts, you know, several hours or days. It doesn't, like, hurt, but it's like a tenderness. And, like, if I rub it, it kind of makes it worse. But anyway, I went to the heart doctor. I did a treadmill test. They did all kinds of other tests. So I was okay, and I haven't gotten the results, but I had missed the appointment by a few hours, and I realized, oh shit, the appointment's today, it's not tomorrow. And by then it was already too late. And when they scheduled me again, they scheduled me like a month out because that's the soonest they had. So if it was important, they wouldn't have fucking scheduled it a month out. Because I asked when I was talking to him to reschedule it, I was like, so my results can't be bad. And she's like, no, if there was problems in the results, they would have called you right away. And probably had you go to something, either come back in for other tests, like emergency tests, or go to the ER or something. It wouldn't. She's like, if we're just scheduling you like normal, it's just going to be a follow up. It's nothing. It's nothing to worry about. Because like obviously, I know which one that is. She's been there for a long time. How do I know that? Because they have these pictures of their people all over the place with how many years they've been there. Why am I turning right? Whatever. I guess I'm taking the scenic route. Yeah, man, she's been there for a long time. I knew that voice. I talked to her a couple times. I mean, I'm not saying she was hot. I'm just saying she's got a recognizable voice. Like Scott in my last job. That man needs to go into voice acting or something. He had a very good voice. Like, not to sound like I want to suck his dick or anything, but he has a good voice. He needs to do like voiceover work or audiobooks or something. He's got a really good voice. I tried to talk him into doing his audiobook, or his book in an audiobook. But anyway, so she said, would you be interested in weight medicine? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. Like, I think it's a good idea, because at least to get me down fucking 30 to 50 pounds by March. If they would have put me on weight medicine, then I could have done that easily. And I understand how weight medicine works. You're not supposed to be on it. I've read into a lot of it. And when I talked, I went down to the dietitian, and it was Viva MD, I think is what it was, on Ray. And Ray off the 101. And the very first session, like, the first thing they had me do was sit there and watch a video. And like 2 minutes, like, it didn't take long. 2 minutes into this video, I'm like, this is an infomercial. This is clearly an infomercial. I mean, it's obvious. It's an infomercial. It's pretty much said 4 things and repeated them over and over for 25 minutes. That was an infomercial. And when they came in and they're like, did you understand everything in the video? I was like, yeah, it was a pretty good infomercial. And like, they looked at me like they were shocked to hear it. It's like, you don't know that's an infomercial? That's straight up what that is. It even has some of the infomercial, like, animation shit. You can spend $10 for an animation to be generated for you. And it's terrible. It was I could produce a a much higher quality version of that. Very is not a word you should use. My brain stopped me for a second, yelled at me for saying very. The videography was piss poor. The editing was terrible. I assume she used Clipchamp, or not even that. I don't even know how the fuck she got it to be that bad. This day and age, you should never. I don't know how you could produce something that bad. I don't know. Maybe Apple's got some fucking garbage thing you can use to generate that bad of a thing. I don't know. So I watched the infomercial, and they're giving me all this shit, blah blah blah, and fucking I gotta do blood work, and then I'll do blood work and then do the second one. And I'm already like, why wouldn't you just have me do that before the first one? Like, we're gonna need blood work, so get that done before your first appointment. It's just a money hustle. That's all it is. It's a fucking money hustle. And it was obvious. And they're like, yeah, blah, 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 our meals, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't mention it was a liquid diet. And it's one of those things where they want to get you hooked in and then slowly bring you into it and shit, and then make it sound super good. And then, yeah, it'll work. If you do it, it'll work. Sure. But there are boxes of dinners or meals. They call it meals, but it's a packet. You mix in water. I mean, I said it was with one of the later ones. I said, yeah, I think I can handle a liquid diet. And she's like, it's not liquid, there's like pudding and stuff. And I'm like just sitting there, pudding and soup. And I'm just sitting there staring at her. And like, I think that was the first time it seemed like maybe that might be the first time she realized, oh yeah, that is a liquid diet. Like, yeah, dude, that's straight up a liquid diet. No chewing. Essentially drinking. Yeah, some of it might be thicker, but there's no chewing. So anyway, when I was the first session I was talking to her, she's gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous, by the way. I was trying to figure out the whole time, why does she look so familiar? So familiar. Everything. She was like, obviously works out, but she's got like a swimmer's body. Like the tone in her arms and legs and everything. I don't know if she swims or yoga or I don't understand. But my neighbor lived behind me when I was growing up. There was a bunch of sisters, and the oldest sister was like a lifeguard, and everything, her face, her hair, height, body shape, everything, toned, reminds me exactly of her. Face shape, voice is even the same. A little nasally, exactly the same. Voice tone, octave, everything, exactly the same. But there is no way that they could very well be related. But I know it's not her, because this is what she looked like in, you know, the mid 90s and the late 80s. Uh-oh. This is the 60, right? I'd keep going south, but that goes through Guadalupe, and I don't want to go through Guadalupe. It's kind of a weird way to get to the 60, but so when I was talking to her, the second appointment after I'd got my blood work, well, I thought they were going to do blood work for testosterone replacement therapy too. That was what I thought. I thought that was part of the point. But apparently fucking not. I was butthurt about that, I'm gonna be honest. But anyway, the second appointment, I had done a lot of reading, watched a lot of videos, done a lot of reading, read some studies even, because I was curious, because of the side effects and all that shit and all that. You know, scholar.google.com. You can find massive amounts of information on there. You're not gonna just find on Google like regular. But anyway, I asked her because I wanted to make sure I understood it. Like, so normally you get hungry if you're not getting like 3,000 calorie diet, right? Like if you're used to a 3,000 calories, you're gonna get hungry if you're falling short of that. And she let me keep going. I was like, so I use my hands. It's easier to use my hands to talk. And both my hands are up high right now. And I was like, so if you're gonna change to a 800 calorie a day fucking diet, and I put one hand down, your body is going to be fucking starving because it thinks you need this many. So the diet medicine makes you think that you're not hungry if you've had like 200 or 500 calories or whatever. And I put my hand down to the bottom with my other hand. I was like, so while your body's reprogramming itself to go on 800 calories a day, you use the medicine to shut up the hunger shit, so it, to trick it, while your body slowly reprograms itself. And then once your body's reprogrammed to expect 800 calories a day, you can wean off of the fucking medicine, and then your body won't be starving like you need 3,000 calories a day, and you can just go off 800. And she's like, huh? She's like, that's what it does, yeah. Like, I've never heard it explained like that. I was like, okay, I just kind of made that up based on everything I'd read. That's what it sounds like it did. So that's how diet medicine works, from what I understand. And if anybody hears this and disagrees, you know how to reach me, or comment, or whatever. I love new information, even if I'm wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. I like being wrong. I like being corrected. Because I'd rather be corrected than continue being wrong. I'm not a big fan of, sharing incorrect information. So that's what happened there. And she's like, well, are you diabetic? I'm like, no, I'm pre-diabetes. And she's like, okay. Do you have sleep apnea? I'm like, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I do. But the one sleep study I did, they kept the information because, like, they did the study, and I went there for the doctor. They weren't going to do treatment. They were going to do the study, and, that's what I was told. That's why I went. They were going to do the study and give the results to the doctor. Well, they wanted me to come back out there to do the results. I'm like, is there a copay for that? Like, yeah. I'm like, so I got to take more time off work, which I don't really have. It's going to be like, I'm going to get written up for it at the place I was at. And I'm going to have to drive all the way the fuck across town because their office is 45 minutes one way, and I'm going to have to pay $60. And this was like 6 years ago. Was it COVID? This is before COVID. So it might have been 7 years ago. No, it is post-COVID because I did it in this bedroom I'm in now. So that would have been at least after March 21, April 21. So it wasn't terribly long ago. Because they sent, oh, you're dumb. They sent the thing home with me. But they wouldn't give me the results. I'm like, I don't even give a shit. Like, just send it to my doctor. That was the whole point. That's what I was told. That's why I went out there. Like, no, we got to go over your results and blah, blah. I was like, well, can you do it over the phone? Like, why do you need me to physically come out there and charge me a copay? Like, no, the only way we can do it is if you come in. I was like, send it to my doctor, and they wouldn't do it. So then they sent me a bill, and I called them. Like, they won't give the results to my doctor. Like, that's not how we work. That's what I was told. That's why I did it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you then. Like, I'm not paying you shit. You won't give me the results. Because I had to pay for, I don't remember what the fucking charge was for. Now that I think about it. Because I paid the copay when I went in there. I paid the sleep study place. Because they put me through another place to do the actual sleep study. I paid them. So I don't know what the fuck that bill was even for. Now that I think about it. Maybe they wanted me to pay that so they'd release it to the doctor. But it was like $120, so maybe they just wanted to collect the money they wanted to collect. But no, I'm not paying them shit. Especially the lady was an asshole on the phone. So anyway, I don't have access to that sleep study, is the bottom line there. So she couldn't get anything from that. And I was like, why? And she's like, well, insurance will cover it if you have sleep apnea or like full-blown diabetes, 1 or 2 or whatever. But I'm only pre-diabetic. Like, not even, the last blood work I had done for the dietitian and for my doctor showed that I was just outside of pre-diabetic anyway. But I used to bomb the fuck out of sugar. So it's really no surprise I was getting into pre-diabetic. I was really bad about it. I'm still not great. But I ate a whole bag, like a 3-pound bag or whatever. Those big old bags of fucking Reese's, the mini Reese's peanut butter cups. I had a whole one of those in like 2 days by myself. Shit like that. Ice cream. I'd kill a pint of ice cream in 2 or 3 days. Almost like not, probably I'd kill a pint of ice cream a week. Did shit like that. Get milkshakes every so often before I worked where I work now. Well, before I saw the maggot fiasco my first maggot fiasco from Burger King, I was like, wow, that's fucking gross. I'll never get a fucking shake again. I may never eat Burger King again after that piece of tape in that Whopper, or whatever it was, that sandwich. Only time I've ever put a fucking complaint into corporate. Piece of tape in my sandwich, dude. I've worked Burger King. How do you fuck up that badly that a piece of tape gets inside the sandwich? Like, it was on the edge, but it was under the bun in the toppings. I thought it was a piece of lettuce. I was looking at the side and I'm like, there's not supposed to be lettuce on this. And I'm like, wow, that's transparent. Is that lettuce? I don't recall seeing transparent lettuce. And I kind of pulled on a little bit I could see, and it was like the end of a piece of tape. How do I know it was tape? Because it had that zigzag perforation when you cut tape. And it was the consistency of like it was tape. That's all. I don't know how the fuck it got in there. I don't know, man. I was shocked. Because like the first thing I did was think about, I worked at Arby's, I worked at Burger King, like Arby's for a year, Burger King for a year and a half, 2 years maybe. Old Chicago on the pizza line, but there was nothing like that back there. Nothing. It was even more hard for me to get random shit in the food back there. There was nothing. I don't even know why you would have tape on the food line. There should be no tape back there. Why would there be tape? You don't need tape. Like, was it intentional? I almost never go to that fucking Burger King. I couldn't have pissed anybody off. I don't know. And I put the order in on the app. So it's not like I made someone mad giving the order. I don't know. I just can't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. But anyway, so they wanted, I would have to pay. I can't afford it. Like, the food is expensive, if you can call it food. It's $26, I want to say, for, I want to say 7 meals. But I was going to be doing 3 of those a day and then a normal meal for dinner. Or the 4th meal, I guess, whatever that would be. And I was doing the math on that. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's how much I was paying for fast food. And when I was paying for fast food, I would buy it in the morning, and then I would eat some for breakfast, some for lunch, and sometimes I wouldn't even finish it all. Like $12. God damn. Son of a bitch. On that shit. I don't know if Chandler's gonna be any better, but it's not gonna be any worse, I'll tell you that. So then I scheduled, I said, no, I'm not starting this until I get diet medicine, but I can't afford it, so I've got to like do a sleep study. So she's like, all right, we'll get you scheduled for a sleep study, get you a referral. So, all right, so now there's nothing left to talk about. So I got my shit together and I left. I got about 2 blocks away and they called me, we're not done with your appointment. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I paid and I left. I thought everything was cool. So then I get back there and she's like having me fill out all this stuff to start the diet. I'm like, I'm not starting the diet yet. She's like, oh, I'm like, that's why I left. Like, I'm not doing this right now. She's like, why? I'm like, I got to get medicine first. Like, I'm going to starve to death if I go from like 3,200, 3,400 calories a day, something like that. Because I eat shit. I understand that. I know why I'm fat. I don't give a fuck. I've never given a fuck why I'm fat or that I'm fat. It doesn't affect me at all. Except for, you know, sitting in stadium seating that they built for people to weigh 80 pounds. Clearly. When I was skinny, I went to see 9 Inch Nails in Omaha. That seat sucked. It's not made for comfort, but it's really not made for wide people. But other than that, I don't give a fuck. I've never had a problem. I'm fine. But anyway, So she's trying to give me, like, it's going from like 3,200 to 800 calories a day is gonna hurt. I'm gonna be fucking super fucking hungry. I hate being hungry. That's why I ended up where I was. Like, I got down to 230 once from 300. And right now I got from 336 is the most I've weighed down to about 310, 308 this morning. So I mean, I'm going the right way, and I know how to do it. I just don't want to be fucking starving to death. I get real tired of being hungry all the time. Real fucking tired of it. And I know I was doing it to myself when I was doing the calorie thing, because, you know, once every 2 weeks or so, I think I was doing cheat days. And cheat days are what's going to fuck you up, make you hungry all the time. Because your body's going to never, ever fucking completely fix itself down to running off of, 800 calories a day. It's going to always, the I want is going to be stuck at fucking... Well, I was doing a 1,400 calorie diet when I got down to 230. I did it quick, too. It was like 8 months I got down to 230 from 300. What's that? 70 pounds? It's because I'm pretty active. Like, I don't act like a fat person. I was told once by a truck driver at my current job when I was warehouse. I had to get something from my desk, got back in the forklift, got back out, moved something in his truck for him, got back in the forklift. He's like, "Do you realize you're fat? You're like, you don't act like you know you're fat." And I was like, "Hey man, is that a compliment?" Like, I think you're giving me a compliment. He's like, "Yeah, I don't mean offense. Just most big guys don't fucking move around like that." I was like, "Well, I'm not fat because I'm lazy. I'm fat because I love food and I fucking eat. Fuck portion control. I'm gonna eat till I feel like I want to die." How's that? That's not good either. There's got to be middle ground. I don't want to be starving, but I don't want to eat and then, like, I'm not doing shit for a fucking half hour. I'm gonna die. Much less swim. Fuck you. But anyway. So they never got around to the sleep study thing, and it was getting to the point where I had another appointment, and they were calling to confirm it, and I was like, well, I think I'll be able to get my sleep study done by then. I gotta get a hold of them. And I still, to this day, haven't talked to the sleep study people. Like, Viva MD said that they had sent me to one, but they never gave me a phone number. Nobody's ever called me. So then when they were calling me, talking about the phone, like, "Hey, they're like, hey, I've got two appointments here back to back. That's not right." And I was like, "No, it's because one's with her and one is with Viva MD, pretty much, as I understand it." She's like, "No, but we can't do that." I was like, "Well, we're just going to do them back to back since we're already on the phone." She's like, "No, we can't do that. We got to cancel one." And I'm like, "Why?" And she was just being stupid. Like, she didn't know why. Well, that's policy. Well, that's a stupid fucking policy. I'm already on the fucking phone. Like, why would I need to do two? She goes, "I know what it is. Like I said, it's a money grab. I identified that the first day. Because they do a copay. And you can't do two appointments with one copay. That's what it is. And it's against policy to do two copays back to back. So they want you to split it up so they can get both of those copays. Because if you're asked to do two copays back to back, people are going to cry about that. It's all about fucking money. I know it is. And I know they get the copay and then they get the rest of the shit from insurance. I'm not fucking stupid. So then that pissed me off. And I'm like, "No, just cancel both appointments." She's like, "Cancel both?" I'm like, "Yeah, just cancel all the appointments." And she's like, "Oh, okay, I understand." And I'm like, "No, I'm serious." And then she was sending me they sent me a text about a future appointment. I was like, no, I said cancel all appointments. Cancel them. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. So it was dumb after dumb after dumb with a crown of double dumb at the end there. And my wife, she called out there, And they're like, well, we don't take your insurance. And she's like, oh, my husband's already going there and you take his insurance, and we're the same insurance. So it's just too dumb. Too much tomfoolery bullshit going on there. And I'm changing my fucking doctor, because talking about a pain in my skin and get told, oh, we got to get you on a treadmill. Like, go fuck yourself, idiot. That's dumb. Whatever, bye.